Greetings, and welcome to Torment Tides of Numenera. I am Jim, and once again, just as a reminder, this game may contain biological and body horror, identity crisis, slavery, death, assault, drug use, and probably a lot of other things. So do bear that in mind if you are here watching. You can stop at any time if you so desire. Just want to make sure to take care of you first. What am I doing? It's Friday, apparently. The days still sort of run together for me. I haven't fallen back into identifying with the calendar as much as I did prior to the pandemic. So it's still a weird time. Still a very weird time. Things have been sort of a little bit in flux as I try to solidify things about my streaming schedule and about the life schedule. Because apparently people have lives outside of streaming. I should think about that more often so that I can do like life things. Apparently that's a thing people do. So there's that. Granted, the amount of streaming hasn't necessarily been as much as it was back when that was more of a concern for me, but well, we'll see. We've got more stuff coming. In the meantime, let's do more of this. If an enemy is armored, change up the damage type of your attacks with abilities or ciphers to overcome it. I'm sure one day I'll remember to do that. Ah! Okay. What are we doing? Why are we shimmering? There's a thing that only lasts today. Ah, that's right. We were going to go into this maw. Let me check. We are currently at once again in the 9th world, which is 4 billion years in the future, I think. We have a few quests left. We gotta see if this maw goes to the Anchorage. I think it does, probably. We gotta deal with that decanted, which we will soon. Hopefully without having to fight it, but we may have to fight it. And entering the maw is the next part of this quest, so we gotta do that. So let's do that.
Go.
Hey, look at that. On the far side of the mall, I found myself inside a highly advanced artificial structure, some kind of terminal or port. The technology was far beyond the capacity of anything in the 9th world. I should report my findings to Garkoto. Interesting. Yeah, this is a thing that happens sometimes. Shall we investigate?
Fair enough. I'll remember that.
Hi. Oh, marooned on an alien shore. Here's a quest. This careworn woman is... this is Captain Janur. Janur? 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 This careworn woman is dressed in strange ornate armor. Her bearing is military stiff and her eyes roam constantly. Though the rest of her body is under strict control, she assesses you in a glance. Outworlder, the Bloom portal is open. It is good that you spoke to me first. Few lascars speak your tongue. Officers mainly. She clucks her tongue. We need practice. Welcome to the Anchorage. Scan thoughts. It is good that the portal has opened again. Perhaps we can recover our missing people. Well, this is that. I am Captain Janur, he says, taking a stab at the pronunciation. This Anchorage is my command. All you see is under my command. Explore our home if you like, but our traditions, respect them, please. I met some of your crew. Tell me more about your people. What's that pinging noise? What's that pinging noise? I met some of your crew in the Bloom. Jemadar Arechi and her crew? She presses a hand to her chest and bows her head. Our thanks, Outworlder, from myself and from the crew. Should you see her again, please tell her that the way to the Anchorage is open to her. Blessed day, our people have returned to us. Tell me more about your people. We lived here on the Anchorage, as did our ancestors, for countless generations. Trapped here, they grew old, intermarried, raised families. Our laws came one by one, as we built a new society here in isolation. We are military, lascars, soldier sailors. We have hierarchy and strength. All know their place. We all have the chance to ascend on merit. No favoritism. My own child is not even a Jemadar. I do not... Jemadar. I do not review her records. I would lose my position for such an infraction. She shrugs. All families have such struggles. Perhaps we will serve together one day. What a wonder that would be. Huh. I'm going to check to see if this is an actual word, which it might be, because they like to do that. Okay. An officer in the Army of India having a rank corresponding to that of lieutenant in the English Army. Any of several police or other officials of the government of India. Okay. It is Hindi. Jamadar. Influenced mainly by Persian Jamaat, body of troops from Arabic Jam collections and assemblage Persian dar having. Let me find out how to say this. As soon as I can find it. Here we go, possibly. We will find it. We will find it now. Hello.
Jemadar.
That's interesting that they're doing it that way. Okay. Strange. Hello, peoples. We've stumbled across a word, and I'm trying to see how people try to say it. For it interests me. And I tend to do that a lot. Here we go. Jemadar. Okay. So it's accent on the first syllable. At least according to this dictionary site that is probably created by people who natively speak English. Well, we'll get that anyway. Closer. All right. Now that we've done that, back to this. Let's see. Such a family are we lascars. We struggle against time, against memory, as we keep an eye to the sky, always dreaming of escape. Until then, we hold tradition of the civilization of home. Can I help you leave the Anchorage? Wait, level. Before we go offering stuff like that, what's that pinging noise? Captain Janer looks at you strangely for a moment, as if she had no idea of what you spoke. And then comprehension comes. Ah, the signal! For so long have I heard it, I have forgotten. We call for the ship. Perhaps it has become lost. If so, we light a beacon in the void. Tell me about the ship. Until the ship appears from the void and comes to take us home, We serve the Anchorage, as did generations uncounted before us. Some fear the ship may never come, but we hold our eyes to the heavens in faith. She spreads her hands wide. Until that day we toil. When the ship comes, and it comes soon, it will find a welcome berth in our anchorage and in our hearts. Okay. How long have you waited for the ship? As long as necessary, Outworlder. She stops, retranslating your words. Apologies. We have waited for many families, many parents. My family, their family. We are waiting until it arrives! My family, their family, and their family, and back many families before them. The Cortex would know, surely, but I do not think we wait much longer. Something in the Anchorage's air, it smells of our time here coming to an end. The ship will come soon. Or perhaps their life support is having issues after so many generations. That's not good. Genji's feels the same, and he would know better than any. Alright. Tell me more about the Anchorage. This does not look anything like Alaska. I don't understand. The void is great and vast. It holds terrors. The Anchorage is respite, a place of rest and safety. There were once many ships with many people. They came here, rested, refueled, took on passengers. Passengers traveled to many worlds around many stars, and then they stopped coming. But we remain. It was a rest stop. Although there were people staying there, so. More of a way station. Are your ancestors the ones who built this place? She shakes her head. I do not think so. We lived here many, many years, but if we built the Anchorage, no memories remain. They tell us only that we serve. Perhaps it was built by our people. Perhaps it was always here. We do not know. Even the Cortex does not tell us. There are older things than that which we hold dear. Tell me more about your society. I lead. As captain, the Anchorage is my command. Marriages I approve. I lead the rites. To me falls all responsibility for survival. She smiles. But such duties are onerous. I delegate, as captains did before me. So we have pilots, majors, jemadars, and others. They prove themselves through work, rise through ranks. Every 10 years, those of high rank may challenge me for my position. We speak to the Cortex and match our minds. We solve scheduling, mathematical, logistical problems. Oh man! Can I borrow some of you folks for a little while? Just a little while. Should my challenger win, I retire and advise. We cannot survive without cooperation. Makes sense. What is that Cortex you mentioned? I wish to learn more. It is a device sacred to us, she says carefully, her eyes on you. It is our only connection to our lost home. You're not gonna mess with it, are you? She folds her arms and adds, We do not allow Outworlders to see it. I mean no offense, but do not ask. You sure? Why can't I visit the Cortex? Can I help you leave the Anchorage? She smiles slightly. We are not searching for any port that will take refugees. We await the ship that will come for us. Our tradition tells us that home has not forgotten us, and that we will one day breathe its air again. Until we can reach home, we will not. She chuckles. Could you summon the ship to us or create a pathway to our native land, we would depart gladly. But not until then. Yeah. That's a thing. That's definitely an issue. Oh, why can't I visit the Cortex? She exhales, teeth clenched, and looks up. Fury wavers like a trapped flame behind her eyes. We were not always so protective. That was before other Outworlders tried to steal it a few years ago. She holds up a hand. Perhaps you are different. This does not matter. No Outworlder will ever be allowed to see the Cortex again. Yep, that's, yep. Yep, that certainly is, yep. That's most definitely, Can you tell me anything about the Outworlders who tried to steal the Cortex? She growls, sweeping a hand over her head. Clearly she regrets broaching the topic at all. We were foolish. They came to us through a portal from your world. We welcomed them as guests and showed them the Anchorage, the Cortex. Her hand is a fist at her side. One of them put hands on it. His friends attacked us. The Anchorage, burning the walls with their fire. Oh, we wouldn't do that, like at all.
Updated my journal.
Totally wouldn't do that. Shaking her head, she continues. We killed them, of course. All except the one who touched the Cortex. Him we questioned until he died screaming a word over and over. She watches your face. The word was Dracogen. Oh, him! Oh, this won't be a problem at all. Never heard of Dracogen. Never. Good. Farewell. We will speak again, I am sure. I am very sure of that. Man. Dracogen. Okay, so... I found them all in Little Niliesh that leads to the lascars' Anchorage. I should return to the vast interior and tell Arechi the good news, which we should do. Covetous hearts. I've learned that Dracogen desires an item called the Navigational Cortex, which is a prized possession of the lascars in the Lost Anchorage. Ask Dracogen about his efforts to acquire the Cortex. Oh, great. If I'm willing to engage in some illicit business, I should see if Dracogen still desires the Cortex. No! He might be willing to offer something valuable in return. Don't. It's not a good idea. You're already bringing him an amulet, for goodness sake. Now that I have the amulet, I can bring it to Dracogen. I've discovered that he wants to attempt to steal an item called the Navigational Cortex from the Anchorage of the Lascars. Perhaps he would be willing to accept the Cortex in place of the amulet. I'd rather just give him the freaking amulet. And I mean, yeah, sure, the amulet might make it easier to deal with Maws a little bit, but... And maybe, you know, it might be a useful weapon against, the Mamavra if it comes down to it, but I don't wanna, no. But I do want to explore this place. That would be great. Exploration. I must learn to spell. There we go. Who's that? That's a lascar. Who appears to be transparent and walking through things.
I'll handle it.
No, don't handle any... Why do you say things like that so ominously? It's disturbing. It's disturbing, Matkina. And they've got some benches here. That's good. Space benches. There's a thing. It has glowy bits. This three-dimensional image displays an evolving root-like system, or perhaps an organically growing data structure. Ooh. One of the two. No, just the door closed behind us. Alright. Come on. It's tricky to hit the edge of the screen when wait a minute, hit the tab. Yeah, keep forgetting about the tab key. The tab key is our friend. Lascar, hey, how you doing? I know we don't speak the same language, but I thought I'd say hey anyway. Yep, I thought so too. This display shows countless suns viewed from a moving point of reference. It plots distances and routes between them at a dizzying speed. I love it. Ah, nice. Star map. Yes. Glorious. Glorious. This is the first time you actually get to see it's like a space station thingy. And that's one of the cool things also that's sort of hovering around in the background of the Numenera setting, is that there's still ways, theoretically, to get into space. They're not common, but they do exist. Like everything else in the chamber, this device is perfectly polished and clean. Every so often it emits a loud signal that vibrates the whole room. Cool. You don't mind if I run around and poke things, do you? Of course you do. We're not supposed to touch anything. Not so many visitors come from Bloom. Welcome? I hope so.
All right.
I hope we're welcome. Oh, hey. Hey. What that? Framed by luxurious curtains, this window reveals the surface of an ocean world far below. The view is reminiscent of what you saw when you were born, but the water has a purplish hue, and the scattered landmasses are brown and dead. This is clearly not the Ninth World. So this is already many light years away.
I'm ready. I'm over.
And I mean, if this is 4 billion years in the future, it's got to be like millions of light years away, possibly, because the stars are supposed to expand to a... or the stars expand. That's not what I mean. What do I mean? The space between the stars is going to increase over the next even just billion years, I think it is. If I remember right. Isn't that when we're supposed to intersect with Andromeda? It's like in about 1 billion years? I have to check my calendar. I have to see if I've got anything planned for that day. But I think that's what I'm gonna do. See, that's what I thought. Oh, that's a more comfortable looking bench.
Fine.
And then there's another corridor. Oh my god, there are things to explore. It's just this a very different setup. I am excited by it. Don't know where any of these go. Hello? Hello? What are the shiny things? This lascar examines the contents of an open hatch in the console before him, brow contorted. Occasionally he takes a tiny component from the tidy pile beside him and plugs it into the machine's unseen innards. Waits a hopeful moment and mutters what is most likely a curse. He spots you and gives you the rueful grin of unsuccessful repairmen everywhere. Yep. Hello is good. Good to... He chews his lip thinking. Good to come. He watches your expression carefully, then sighs and touches his forehead, then his lips, and he shakes his head. Speak slow, please. I hear. I try. What are you doing? Isn't it terrible when people do that? They speak louder as though that's going to help. What are you doing? He squints at your mouth, then nods. I fix, he snorts. He snorts. Try fix. He chuckles at himself again. Not fix. What are all these controls for? He plants one hand on a set of controls. Is give information on stars. He drops his hand on the other set. Is listen to the stars for voices for home. He stands straighter. When ship comes, ship speaks. He waves a hand in a motion you recognize as a "this isn't really what I mean, but I can't remember the words" gesture. I hear first, tell all, me. He smacks his chest with an open hand, grinning. Ah, yes, good, good. He pauses, his hand slipping from his chest, and indicates a small section of the controls he didn't touch before. Is for cortex maintenance, he says dismissively. Apparently his job doesn't cover that area of the Anchorage. Really? What does cortex maintenance involve? His smile widens. You get a feeling that people don't usually take that much of an interest in this man's work. Genji's does most. Me? Wait for light, here. He points. And then press button, here. He chuckles at himself. His difficult work. Need concentrate. He makes a furious show of concentrating on the light and pressing the button with a finger. Oh, wait. His difficult work. Need concentrate. Pressing the button with a finger. He chuckles again, then shrugs. Without button, no remove cortex, so is important button. Yes, it must be. I will leave the lascar to his work. As I sit here totally not planning to do terrible things. No, I'm not going to steal their cortex. I would like to help them find their ship somehow. I don't know if that's going to be possible. Because I do not have anywhere near their level of technology. But one never knows. One never knows how far the tides can reach, if nothing else. We're going to save the game as soon as it allows it. Should probably free up some disk space so that I can... Maybe this will go faster. Still exploring. So, obviously I have a desire to touch the thing, but I kind of want to go into these other rooms first and steal things. Oh, it'll let me steal something, perhaps. It will let me loot. Is that a bad thing to do here? That's probably not a good thing to do here. I am a guest on these people's space station. I should not abuse that privilege of being a guest here. But I do have to poke things. It's an adventure game of sorts. The console is a bewildering array of displays, unlit buttons, and switches, all helpfully labeled with words in a language you don't understand. Much of it is covered in a slight layer of dust, as if most of the console is rarely, if ever, used by the nearby lascar. Examine the controls. You lean over the console, taking care to not press any buttons by accident. As you noticed before, much of the device is covered in dust. One screen on the side, however, is completely clean, and the buttons beside it are marked with dusty fingerprints. Examine the controls again. Much of the console is covered in dust. One display is meticulously cleaned, and the buttons have been pressed in the recent past, judging by the fingerprints in the dirt. Okay. I mean, it's a good point. Alright, I'm gonna poke that.
I'm ready.
'Cause I want to see what is here in this glorious place. Force the door open! This door is made of some unfamiliar shiny metal. It has been polished to a mirror-like sheen. A magnetic strip of another duller metal has a strange runic script sprawled across its surface. It looks like an instruction regarding the door. On trying the door, you discover that what that message must be. This door is stuck, or something equivalent. You might be able to force the door open, but it won't be easy. I don't know if that's a good idea. I'm gonna leave the door alone for a bit, because that might not be at all what that sign says.
You won't notice I'm gone.
Will you stop? Kina just keeps making all of these threats. Okay, we step into this circle and that opens the door. I understand now. Hello, Pilot Major Genjis. These ornate doors are firmly shut. When you get close to them, a voice says something in an alien tongue. You don't understand the words, but they sound suspiciously like a rejection. Man, it's bad enough getting rejected in your own language. And then there's a thing to poke over there. But first we should say hello to Genjis. Oh, there's more stuff! More stuff! Look at it! Look at it in all of its tech glory. Okay, I'm going to talk to Genji's now. It's techno glory. Pilot Major Genji's. Worry stamps its lines on the feature of this man. Like the others in the Anchorage, he wears a suit of ornate armor, but he has set aside his helmet. His hair is thinning, and wrinkles web around his eyes and across his forehead. He is tinkering with some display, but he turns away from it to address you. Greeting. I am Genji's, pilot major of this Anchorage. Tell me about your people. He wipes a cloth across a clear glass eye and glances at you. You have spoken with some, yes? We have lived here long. Many captains past, we discovered we would have to wait for the ship to come. Until that time, until the arrival, we survive. We wait, and we train. Tell me about the Anchorage. It is many things to us, he says, his brow wrinkling. A home, a reminder of who we once were, and a promise. No, a prophecy. No. He trails off, clicking his tongue, then brightens. Can show you the Anchorage instead of just telling you about it. I can give you a tour, yes? Yes. Give us the tour, but not yet. Tell me about the ship. One would think with all of the minds you have access to, you'd be better at deciphering unknown languages. You would think. I didn't, apparently, those, I should have gone back to those officers and plumbed the depths of their minds that were hanging out in the bloom. It was promised of old it will carry us home, he smiles. Is perhaps ridiculous for outworlders to understand. So many crews have passed on, so many lives ago, yet still we believe. Some question whether it comes. Many have died before its arrival, yet still we believe. What is life without belief? Why do we keep on with routines and rituals, if not for belief that someday we will go home? The ship will come. It must. I will be the one to see it. Yeah. What do you do here? You're a pilot, but it's standing still. I serve Outworlder. I am the keeper of the navigational cortex, its servant. I watch the sensors. I listen to its words. Information from antenna arrays filters in here. All knowledge of the Anchorage passes the cortex. If I fail in my duties, the ship might arrive without my knowledge. So I clean and listen and study. If the ship should come in my life, and I believe it may, I will take its mind in mine, and we will plot a course for home. Ah. Huh. Interesting. Okay. That day will come. I know it. I will be remembered as a hero. Ah, that's what you want. What is the cortex? What is the cortex? He opens his mouth and shuts it quickly. I almost speak too fast. It is our watcher of the void. It is the keeper of our history. It knows the night skies of a million worlds. It holds our traditions and tells us how to live in accordance with old crews. It keeps us alive, maintains the Anchorage. He bows his head in reverence. It alone is the voice of truth. Never has it been wrong. That. Without it, we would forget ourselves, becoming even more lost than we already are. Ah, okay. It does all that? Eritis exclaims. That's amazing. I hope I don't break it. Oh, God. Why did we bring Eritis? Genji's blinks several times, then smiles carefully. Who would have been a better companion to bring here, though? As far as, just people. I don't think... Castellage might have been able to decipher maybe some of it, but, that, again, she'd be guessing. It's just she's good with certain kinds of tech. But then she'd probably be plotting to make off with this the stuff in here, so it's kind of Kind of a, a bit of a trade there. Let's see. I found this lascar helm in the bloom. I can't remember. I do remember it happening. I just can't. I think it was in the Murden Horde. I think. I can't remember. Does that helm belong to Jemadar Achille? He snatches it from your hands and studies it carefully. Void, take it. I hope she still survived. His accent grows thicker with emotion. Please, show to Janor. Find out what Achille discovered. Make life count. Another dead. And Achille, she was my... No, I must not fall into despair. I must hope. Oh, no. Not good. I'm going to take the tour, but first I'm going to save the game again because reasons. Yeah, I think it was in the Murden Horde that I found it. I think. I will look at it again in my inventory and see if it tells me where I found it, but probably not. But one never knows. Maybe it will. So, like, there's this door here, which leads to this thing here. I'm gonna think that might be the Cortex. Just one of the reasons I saved before going over there. Though multiple well-polished locks line the edges, you can't help noticing that this door isn't quite as thick as the others you've seen here, and a soft buzzing hum rises within it. You know, if Rin were still here, she could teleport inside. A complex control panel, or possibly another lock, is in the wall beside the door. The buttons are marked with symbols you don't understand, and the light behind them flickers like a candle.
I'll remember that.
Do not touch the door, please. The Cortex chamber is not for Outworlders. Apologies. No, that's fine. What are you remembering? I don't know why this quest thing is opening up where it's saying like to try to steal the Cortex. Just trying to remember what he was. What, I don't remember that. I'll remember what. Okay. Enough of that. Did I just save the game? I think I did. Okay, good. I would like that tour you offered, because it's either this or go force open that other door. So let's wait a bit before we do that. Let's take a tour first. Now? Genji says, looking alarmed. I would be happy to, but many tasks. He flushes as his grasp of your language abandons him in his embarrassment. Not now, he mumbles, looking away. But soon, very soon. Please return later. You have time for that tour yet? Oh, okay. Farewell, Outworldler. That's fine. We can do it later. Maybe. After we've decided what we're going to do with the other stuff. Of course. I'm going to go over here. I feel like it's supposed to be opening because we're standing in a circle. And, you know, all the other doors have opened when we stood in their circles, so why not? Why not? Why wouldn't it open for us? It should. It should, you know. It should. This will be very interesting. So we have someone with a decent amount of might with us, so There's a possibility we can actually open this door. But we will see. We will find out.
Yes.
Yes. Here, I am unsticking this door for you. So, by myself, I could get up to 55%. Matkina could do, starting at 0, she could do up to 10%. That's not much. Tiber starts at 0 and can make it to 50%. Eratus starts at 10%, can make it to 30, and that's it. Yeah, unfortunately, Eratus needs more ability to, do these things. Then, so I actually have the highest chance just merely by dint of my level. 55%, we can give it a shot. It's not gonna work out. It's not really good enough. Heave at the door, trying to push it sideways, upward, downward, all to no avail. We're gonna leave the door alone. I'm gonna restore the game so I don't lose that might. Like, maybe we would come back after Eratus has leveled up some and see if he can do it. But, I don't know, there might be another way in there. We just don't know yet. We shall find out. I'm gonna go ahead and load that so that we A, get the might back, and B, don't have as difficult a time opening it because it becomes it costs more each time, you see. You see? I do love this this imagery. It is delightful. Okay. Let me check our inventory here, make sure we're not missing anything like something, performance enhancing drugs or something. Just stuff that heals the might pool, doesn't increase the might pool, from what I understand. Oh, that's right, this gauntlet that, we absolutely do not want to put on. +2 might pool versus +1 might edge, which is probably why he even has an edge there. He's got an edge of 3, for goodness sake. But a maximum effort of 4, and that's the problem. He needs more effort. More effort! Alright. Was there anything else I was supposed to tell you? Nope, that's that. Okay. Yeah, I think that'll be it for this visit. We're probably gonna come back.
Of course.
Of course. I should check to see if there's like a might booster cipher that we might be able to pick up. We could do that. We could. According to the records, damn, I missed it. So a few things. First off, that mall is open if you're interested. Sort of see what's happening over here.
Yes. Now.
So we have a couple of people we need to see and tell them things. We'll see how it goes. I'm going ahead and saving again so that I don't have to go back. Things. I know. One loses grasp of nouns after a while. Alright. Have I got news for you? Tell me, what is the state of the new maw in here in my settlement? I opened the new maw, but I found some kind of terminal or port on the other side, not your city of Niliesh. Garkodo hisses in disappointment, and its great bulk thrashes in the tank. Alas, it would appear we must remain in the bloom for now. We shall find another route home eventually. The murky gases swirl around the prince's corpulent form. Opening the maw has served the residents of Little Niliesh. Name your fee. I think 600 shins should be sufficient. I do not ask a fee. I sought a way to Niliesh for your people, and I failed. The work itself is reward enough. I hope that I have helped someone. That's interesting. I'm going to go for the middle one here because, I mean, we've got enough shins right now. And I also saved the game so I can come back and get the 600 shins. Not really going to be that much of a mercenary here. It's, yeah. We'll see. Yes, Indigo Tide. That was what I was hoping for. You do us all an unexpected honor. You have my gratitude, Castoff. Your theory on the maw is shifting. Bloom has entered a new part of its feeding cycle, and that it might be preparing itself for the new Mamabra. Okay, yeah. Who I think is going to be Matkina, probably, but, you know, we'll get to that later. May you achieve your goals this day. Thank you. I hope I do. Alright. We're going to go here now. Because at least those folks are, going to find their way back. Okay, so good news. Sought have we, but alternate routes to the Anchorage remain closed. Your fortune, has it been better? Not yet, I have some questions first. I found a maw in Little Niliesh. It looks like it leads to your Anchorage. Am I supposed to ask about the helmet first? No. Apparently not. Found him on Little Niliesh. Looks like it leads to your Anchorage. Gold Tide. Damn it. For the first time, a broad smile cracks her face. A savior, truly, the opener of the ways who can rescue marooned travelers. She turns and speaks to her crewmates. Chalanaskun Toveld! Gessa! She turns back to you and presses a small device into your hand. Is useful, old but reliable. Ah, this man is a skilled navigator in this realm of flesh. At last we will return home to the Anchorage, that is. Changing tool. Confers changing tool. Increases quick fingers tasks. And smashing tasks. 3 uses. Consumes movement. A silver needle as long as a finger sticks out from this black metallic ring. The band is about as wide as a fingernail and has 2 golden metal plates on it. Touching one of the plates causes the needle to soften, letting it be shaped into a helpful tool for most situations. That's cool. It is a cipher. We got XP. Farewell, helper. Farewell. Who was I supposed to show the helmet to? Do I still have the helmet? The encrusted filth of the bloom covers this helm's surfaces inside and out. It looks like it would fit a human head, but the technology that created the helm is far beyond the capabilities of anyone where lights flicker from the inside, and the helm intermittently broadcasts short bursts of speech in a female voice. Okay. I am carrying this right now. It would benefit either of these folks. I forget which one is generally better at picking locks. I cannot remember. Let me see your character sheet. So, quick fingers, a little bit. No smashing, obviously. More quick fingers, okay. So it would be better going to him. Here you go. Faster fingers. Could give it to him and have him smash things better, but you know. We don't have a lot of smashing happening. Alright. So we completed that quest. Completed a couple of quests. Okay, good, good. Now what? Now a couple of things. I could go back and, well, I know there are some people I need to talk to. Why am I looking at the codex? I don't know. Journal. There we go. So we still have covetous hearts. We have preservation of beauty. Which we got to deal with, and then Dracogen's price. We have the amulet. We could just give it to him, but I kind of want to deal with more stuff here. I don't want the doors to all be closed if that happens. So I'm not going to do that just yet. But I am going to go talk to him and some people over there. There was someone I was supposed to show that helmet to, but it didn't give me any more dialogue options with the other lascar we could talk to. So not sure what the deal is there. Okay. So we have a few things that we need to shore up here. To devour is to be devoured is to know salvation. Yes, very good. So we can talk to Dracogen. We should deal with the decanted. And that's really what we're doing here. All right.
Go.
We're going to save the game. Because we may be in a place where we need to punch people in a moment. I don't know. Which kind of makes me think perhaps we should sleep first. Like, we're down somewhat. We're not hugely down at this point. Mostly Tiber. I have changed my mind. You need to leave the bloom now.
I think I'm ready to try something new.
The smooth plating of its armor clanks against itself as it flinches at your threat. We are peaceful beings, it squawks. Someday you will accept the truth of what we say. You will accept the truth of what we say. We will not attempt to persuade you now. No destruction is necessary. We assure you of our peaceability. Farewell. It backs away, holding its hand out in the universal symbol of surrender. Red Tide! The construct strikes its hand. Ooh. Strikes its hand across the front of its armor, and a row of buttons extrudes from its synth shell. Its fingers dance rapidly upon these buttons, and you are momentarily blinded by a flash of light. When you can see again, it is gone, leaving no trace of its presence. There we go. And Tiber can now level up. Boy, sleep, that's where I'm a Viking.
Yes.
I mean, sometimes that happens when you sleep. Here we go. So leveling up for me and for Tiber, it looks like. Cool. I'll do Tiber first. That'll hopefully be easier. So, we can increase stat pools, we can increase edge, we can increase effort. There's a lot to think about here. I'm going to up his effort. I really want to increase this person's effort, but I cannot yet. What of the edge? These things kind of go hand in hand. That's kind of the problem. Or ability, or skill. Let's see. I'm gonna go with extra effort. Maximum effort level will go from 4 to 5, yes. Excellent. Good, good. Now as for me, all I can do is increase my stat pools. So let's do that. Sure, I could use more intellect. Why not? Let's have as much intellect as possible. Let's get really ridiculous. I wonder, should I start raising the others a little bit? Just like a little bit. Maybe up my speed just a tad. Just a tiny bit. Because I occasionally need to do crap with these other abilities. Sure, why not? Alright, I've reached tier 5. I've got to learn some abilities. Plague Spirits. Resourceful. More ciphers. I could use that. Maybe Targeting Eye. Insight Action. Animate Balefire or Animate Balefire, depending on how this goes. Hedge Magic. With intellect, you can persuade others to work for you. Why, yes, you can. It's good that way. Hedge Magic. Automatically succeed on the next Quick Fingers or Smashing task. Active until next sleep. Ah. That's cool. We're kind of okay in the Quick Fingers and Smashing department, though. Innervate. Remove all negative fettles. Yeah. Kind of thing. Quantum Step. Teleport one ally to a point within range. That was what Rin could do. It'd be good to pick that up. Unstoppable Force. Gravity Manipulation. Pushes or pulls all creatures in range. Mind Control. Scanning Array. Gain a plus 5% bonus for each level of effort applied to Perception, Lore, Machinery, Lore mystical and lore natural tasks. Plague spirits, everyone's favorite. Upgrade. Successive attack. You kill an enemy, make a bonus attack against the nearest enemy. Right. Quantum step, I think we're going to go ahead and grab. And, might just grab resourceful so I can have even more ciphers. Hedge magic could be useful. Yeah, I'm gonna grab resourceful. There we go. All the ciphers ever. All of them. Okay, there we go. That's done. Okay, we chased them off. That's good. And, we're gonna go ahead and save again, because of course we are. Doing another bout of Dracogen soon. I'm gonna try to talk to him about the Cortex, but I don't want to try to convince him to... I'm going to give him the amulet, probably. But I want to resolve that quest, one way or the other. Okay, here we go. Some things. I have utterly forgotten how... Oh, well. No, we'll figure it out. Are you still interested in exploring the bloom, my friend? Word has reached these humble ears of a new mall opening near the court of Gar-Koto in the Niliash. If it leads to the place I recall, which I thought long gone, it may contain devices of great value indeed. If I did not have pressing business here, I should explore it myself. But I forget myself. What can I help you with today? Then he pauses and leans toward you. His nostrils flare slightly. The air around you is different, Castoff. You bear the amulet. Give it to me, and we shall consider our agreement concluded. I have heard that you sought the navigational cortex of the lascars. Would you accept it in place of the amulet? Or I could just give it them. I want to see what he says.
Updated my journal.
Ah, yes, that would indeed be sufficient. I have tried to acquire it before, but to no avail. Should you manage to obtain it, it would certainly be a fine substitution for the amulet. Do I need the amulet?
Making a note.
The agents I employed previously were not up to the task. This was an occasion of great surprise to me. They were tough, capable explorers, and I thought them more than sufficient to the job. If you gain access to the Anchorage and the Cortex, I suggest that you employ guile before violence. I would hate to see you fail as they did. I'd like to ask a few more questions. Okay, May. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by. Letting me read at you. Tell me more about yourself. That might be something else. No, again. Something else. Something else. Alright. I want to see what the note that I made was. Covetous hearts. Yeah, Dracogen is definitely interested in obtaining the Cortex, and he admitted to sending a team to steal it. But they were slain in the attempt. If I try to acquire the Cortex for him, he recommends that I rely on guile and deception, not force. I've learned that outsiders aren't allowed to access the navigational Cortex. One of the lascars, a man named Pilot Major Genjis, is working near the door to the chamber where the Cortex lies. If I want to sneak inside, I'll have to distract him somehow. Honestly, I don't want to do that. I'd rather just return the amulet. I will go ahead and save the game again because there are pathways here, right? That one could take. And I need to figure out who it was that he wanted me to show that helmet to. I thought it was the other... I don't know proper names. I thought it was the other person that greeted us at first, that lascar that greeted us at first when we went in. See, this lists all of the characters in order and does not break them down, so I'd have to actually figure out who it is that we're looking for. In order to actually... that codex, unfortunately, the way it's set up, not quite as helpful as one would hope. Okay. I'm going to give it to him, if he allows it. Surely this time you bear what you promised. Alas, you do not. Time of mere mortals is not the same scale allotted to Castoff's friend. I urge you to speed your search. Let's talk about returning the amulet. You're prepared to fill your end of the bargain, then. Give Dracogen the magmatic amulet. Okay. He holds it up to the light, turning and admiring the amulet's cunning design. A wide smile on his face, he says, "Can you feel the power of this thing? It twists and curls and snares the secret places of the world. This will do nicely, oh yes." He places it into a flat pouch at his hip, and no shape distorts the pouch, as if it were merely a gateway to some larger place. "This concludes your part of the transaction. Let me honor mine. Come with me. You see, this is a problem, because I don't want to suddenly be swept into the next section. There are things I still wanted to do here!" Not many. The tyranny of cutscenes. According to the records kept by Casmine and Mimian, the Changing God rarely remains in a body for more than a decade or two before moving on. See, there's the problem. This way, draw any weapons and you'll die in short order. No! This is not what we wanted. The Mamavra. See, we're now going to get into a whole scene, but I'm sitting here raging because I wanted to do the other thing. The Mamavra is a medium-sized woman, regal in bearing. She scrutinizes you with a look that, even if it doesn't lead anywhere, you know? She scrutinizes you with a look that manages to convey both admiration and disdain, perception. Her eyes cut to Makina. A slight tightening around her eyes suggests a wariness toward Makina. So he escaped Milaves. A shame he chose to come here. Oh, great. I need to, I hate this one. I'm being forced down the wrong trouser leg. You can't just, like, because in real life you could just say, okay, here it is, hang on a minute, and you could... But no. I was hoping that it would put me into a place where I could give it to him, and then it would open up other options where I could basically go back and be more helpful to the other people. But no, apparently that's not happening. And I could go back and be more helpful to the lascars. And I'm going to be distracted by that as I read this that I am forced to currently read. But you see, no matter how many times I hit the escape key, I cannot get to the load menu. And there's going to be a lot of dialogue right here, I assume, as this is supposed to be a wonderfully dramatic scene. So I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. I will not be denied! What are you doing, Jim? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? I am forcing it. I am forcing it. Let me see here. Alright. I'm gonna do something. because it is it's one of those things where sometimes your computer doesn't do what you want it to. Sometimes the program doesn't do what you want it to. And so sometimes you have to be slightly mean to it. Yes, sometimes it's all we can do. But this is what we are doing. It will not keep me from seeing all the things. And there are plenty of things I've missed on the way, I'm sure. But when they're obvious to me, there is a need. Okay. So now, and this is where, you see, the incessant saving is helpful, because I get to decide now if I want to save after I have already started this other quest, or before I have already started that part of this quest, so that I can... But, see, there's another iteration going on here. I'm going to load this one, and there's the reason why is because it's before I get further down that particular trouser leg where it's telling me about, you know, trying to steal the cortex. Before that becomes a definite thing, but after I've already sent more lascars back home, you see. Because that in and of itself might open more doors. That's what I want to see. I want to see if that has happened. So, instead of talking to Dracogen, so we rewind time, and instead of talking to Dracogen, we sleep.
Let's go.
Because we were very clearly in another area at that point, outside of any map that we had been on. And who knows if they'd have let us back in.
Let's go.
I'm sure there was going to be something terribly dramatic about to happen. And I will be excited to see that when I am ready to see it. Not yet. I have not performed any sacrificial tasks. I have not performed any sacrifices today to the machine gods, but one never knows. When someone tells you to take care of unfinished business before leaving a location, take heed. Usually we won't get a chance to return later. Right. It's nice when they tell you that, isn't it? When they tell you that, it's great. But sometimes they don't tell you that. Never trust anyone in this world. Always save the game. Always. Okay. Anyway. Rant over. Hopefully.
On my way.
Gotta learn those lessons the hard way. Right? Yeah, I know. We're going to go back here now. Just going mad here. Hi. I swear I was supposed to show you a helmet. Okay, that's just... They're not intangible, they just went down the stairs, and we can kind of see a little bit through here. Okay. Sierra training is trying to express itself again. I know, right? Are they here anywhere? It's branded into me. Gotta ask a thing. I'm not gonna be, and it's not gonna tell me. It's not gonna tell me who it is that he's not gonna show me that again, because I showed him the helmet. Still waiting crucial messages, but soon I promise. Okay, sure.
Naturally.
Arechi! Opener of ways, we have regained the Anchorage. This one thanks you, I'm grateful. Okay, great. Cool, cool. What was the deal with the helmet? You know, we shall take a look at this. There's apparently a way to use the helmet. I want to find out what happens. You were promised that email would save the world, but instead we have people playing Minesweeper awaiting important messages. I know, right? Did it not say... It just sort of wandered away from me. Wait. I looked away at a crucial moment. Perhaps I was clicking on something. I do not know. But I was reading at the same time. So now I must have confirmation. This upsets us. Alright. Yeah, I probably saved there. Now I'm going to save it here. So I will have some idea of what the hell it is I'm doing. There. Now. Okay. Good lord. Use item. You examine the helm more closely. It gleams underneath the crusted filth, worked with a skill unmatched in this age. Its crest seems to contain a number of dark black cells that catch and hold the light. Fine traceries in the cells look as if they might gather or disperse energies. It looks as if you could fit it on your head. From within, a female voice speaks softly in a foreign tongue, musical but harsh. After a few moments, she pauses and then speaks again. Try the helmet on, look inside the helmet, listen to the voice coming from the helmet. Look inside the helmet. The dark and padded interior has some faintly glowing nodules and soft synth fibers, but no visible eye slits. Language. But no visible eye slits or breathing apparatus. More importantly, the helm has been collecting rotting garbage and debris for what looks like decades, and as you scoop out the sodden mass, you discover fragmented bone, possibly that of the previous owner. You clean the helm as best you can. XP. Closer examination of the interior suggests that it connects with its wearer through eye movement tracking. Once it synchronizes with the eye movement, the helm's internal circuitry develops a direct neural connection with its user. You suspect that it might also store past users' experiences and observations. Interesting! Listen to the voice coming from the helmet. See, I knew there was more to look at. Though the words are spoken in the language of the truth, they are strangely accented and filled with growing alarm. Listening to the words, you piece together the speaker's last moments, greeting a stranger, or a group of them, and discovering their murderous intent. Her skull fractured, she bled to death slowly, her body hidden in one of the trash heaps of the bloom. It's a wonder no one has found this helm until now. Maybe it was Little Neliash where I found them. I don't know. Anything else from the voices? No. Look inside again. Now that the helmet has been cleaned out, you can see that it's padded inside with some dark, soft synth. Shall we try the helmet on? Sure. We can have an experience. We can have an out-of-body experience. The helm was clearly custom designed for a specific person's head, but you can fit it around your skull with some fierce tugging. The odor of decomposition fills your nostrils, as well as the accumulated filth of the Bloom's trash. It is pitch black in the helm. You might be eaten by a grue. No isolets or breathing apparatus are immediately apparent to you, but after a few seconds, a small light begins to blink in the corner of your visual field. Is this going to be like doing a opening a mirror caster? I don't know. As your eye automatically flickers to it, the helmet's air clears, degassing the foul stench, and you can feel the air circulating from hidden pumps inside the headpiece. Several unfamiliar symbols light up on the right side of your visual field. Most are dim, but one symbol shines brightly. If you had to guess, the dim symbols mark functions that are unavailable at this time. Look at the bright symbol. A grid of smaller images appears. The Bloom, pictures of the starry night sky, and images of various people. Look at the Bloom. Among the many images here, you see several that depict places you have been, though their particulars have changed since these images were captured. You suspect that years have passed. The first image is of the vast interior chamber, its pathways and tendrils sprawling across the empty spaces. You see foul gases curling from the depths, a row of shops and upwardly built homes, and caravans pulled by Anine traversing the strands. The courtyard outside the Mamuvra's fortress seems subtly different, and you look at it for a moment before two observations strike you. First, the uniforms of the guards are quite different from those who serve the current Mamuvra. You also notice that this image was taken from where the Catina's wreckage sits now. The area still looks as dingy and dangerous, but the lack of the Catina makes the space seem more open, less oppressed. The next image is of the Bloom, seen from a path descending from Sagus cliffs. Though you already had some sense of its immensity, its massive bulk momentarily takes your breath away. Wedged into the cleft between two massive escarpments, the Bloom is both wide and long, with taut and massive tendrils anchored to the rock face. It looks as if the creature is dragging itself toward the inland sea, very, very slowly. Yay, lungs. The final images in this collection depict Little Niliesh, but not as you know it. Most of the people you see are ordinary humans. Garkoto's great tank is nowhere to be seen. The piles of trash are smaller, and the ancient stone buildings still serve as habitations. Though an aura of squalor and disrepair taints the place, and you can almost smell the garbage, it seems nearly idyllic in comparison to current reality. These images must be at least a decade old. Okay? Cool. Will it give us the same thing if I do it again? Yes. It's all the same one. Okay. Look at the images of the night sky. When you look at the first image, it expands outward again, showing a vast grid of other sights. Clearly, the owner of the helm took great care in recording the images of the Ninth World sky. Either she loved the stars desperately, or she was collecting these shots to cross-reference with some other collection. All right.
I'll remember that.
Have found something, the helmet's former owner says. Must be certain. Must return to the Anchorage and compare new data with the Navigational Cortex's archives. Hey! That's a thing. Look at the images of people. The pulsing, moist walls of the Bloom form the backdrop of all these images, so your guess is that the helm's original owner met each of these people during their visit here. There. You see Dracogen's tall form looming over a smaller man. Dracogen's smile is sharp and fierce, and the threat implicit in the way he holds himself tells you that he is about to exact some punishment on his quaking client. The next array of images shows the observant Spec, who looks exactly the same as she does in the current time. The diminutive woman is gesturing dramatically, probably in the midst of telling a story, an animated arm and coy smile shining through the static picture. The final image is that of three human men. One of them holds aloft a jagged piece of strong glass, its end bloodied. The owner of the helm holds up a hand to ward off another blow. Blood gouts in the air. There it is. Okay. And this is all going to be the same, right? Okay. We're going to take the helmet off. As you lift the helm, you see the symbol wink out, leaving the helmet's interior in darkness. Can we listen to the voice again? Yeah. This is the same as we had before. Okay, we're putting the helmet away. Okay, that certainly gives us more. Familiar skies. Bring the helmet to its owner's people. In the recording, the helmet's owner spoke of returning to a place called the Anchorage. I should try to find this place and speak to her people. They might be able to tell me more about her and the cortex she mentioned. I think that perhaps has just opened some things. See, aren't we glad we came back here? I certainly am. Okay. Anything else I need to play with here? A lot of these objects and you know, you just don't think to use them, right? You just don't think to look inside. Yeah, the glove is, the Gauntlet of Murder is probably not something we want to do, because apparently that's the replace your hand type thing. Not something we're going to do anytime soon. But it's a neat little thing. Okay. Of course we're glad. We hate the game's endings. We must keep playing in perpetuity. Yes. Exactly. No end in sight. No end! We shall save the game. No escape. Always torment. Always. This game never ends. Never! No. Man, I hope this game ends someday. I have other games I want to play. I mean, I spent a year and a half without playing this game, you know, after starting it. Dang it, we need to get this done. See it through to the bitter end. But now that we know these things, that may give us more options. Hey, so, by the way, now I can show you the helm. I found this broken helm in the bloom. Captain Janer's gaze flicks down to the helm in your hands and back up. She draws in a long, controlled breath. Achille, I knew she was lost to us, but I take no pleasure in it. Thank you, Outworlder. Her family will be glad to have it back once you surrender it to me. She lifts her eyebrows expectantly. I listened to one of her memories. She thought she'd found something important. You said you're planning on giving the helm to Achilles' family? Disgust flashes across her stony face and is just as quickly suppressed. I do not wish to hear of her private memories. Her thoughts are hers, and should die with her. The last sentence has a lilt to it, as if Janer is quoting verse. Oh no. Oh no. Oh dear God, no. The hard line of her mouth softens then. Achille was intelligent, adventurous, but prone to wild theories. Do not worry about her important discovery. Let it fade with her. Oh no! Oh dear God, no! She was looking at the stars! She was gonna compare them to other stars! This might help you find the ship, damn it! Okay, here. Hold on a little longer. So you're planning on giving the helm to Achilles' family? Yes, but not immediately. First I will erase the private memories inside it, as is tradition. Then I will clean it, perform maintenance rituals. After, the helm will be given to her eldest sibling. I want to hold on to her helm a while longer. I need to see what she discovered. She gives you a hard look. No, you cannot scavenge through her memories, because the helm is not tuned to you, and besides, it is forbidden. She falters, her mouth hanging open. I had this conversation once before. I had it with Achille. The corner of her mouth twitches, but she does not speak for a long, long moment. Fine, she says, sweeping a hand over her eyes. It would make her happy to know that her helm is carried by someone with her curiosity. Take it with her blessings. Good God. Well, this next topic is going to sound awesome to you. Achilles' memory said she needed to compare her data to the navigational cortex's archives. Remember that other sacred thing you want to keep us from? We're going to bring it up again. Jenner claps her hands over her ears, hesitates, then drops them. Oh my God, the dogma. Eyeing you balefully. Do not share the memories of fallen lascars with others. It is not done, understand? She stares to your left, weighing her response, and continues. Let her secrets die inside you. As I say before, Outworlders are not allowed near the cortex. I gotta show this thing to somebody. Well, what a pity, Tiber says loudly. He plants a consoling hand on your shoulder and adds in a whisper, let's just keep looking around, shall we? Perhaps we'll find a way to bend the rules, or at least which locks we need to break. Farewell, Captain. Maybe we should steal the cortex. Maybe they don't deserve the cortex. My God. Actually, before I do this, assuming I'm allowed to leave this, I need to level up Matkina. Technological religious cults are always so accepting of scientific curiosities. You'd think! Let's level up Matkina. Ability or skill? Let's see what skills there are that we can do. We can up the quick fingers, we can up the deception, we can up the running, we can up the cipher use. Let's take a look at the abilities. We can up the warp dash, which sounds awesome. We can do, infusing the weapon, warp dash, weapon. Choose a damage type and then make a weapon attack. Deal weapon damage of the chosen type along with bonus effects based on the type. Analytic field. Weapon damage +3. If the target has any negative fettles, you regain health equal to +50%. Amorotic field. They gain blinded, evasion. Minus 35%. They become blinded. That could be useful. Enemy is a small area around the caster. So it's a thing we can turn on. It does consume an action. I think I'm going to just up the warp dash. I think that will be good. Assassin ability has been unlocked. While hidden or attacking a blinded enemy, automatically kill the target if it is below 40% health. Good lord, we should have gotten that thing that blinds people. I didn't know there was a combo in the works here. Can I go back and undo that choice? Good lord. If I'd known there was a combo. Choose abilities to learn. Illusory Warrior. Myalgic Dust. These are intellect abilities. She's a jack, so she can do speed-based stuff and intellect-based stuff. Conferring Dazed, Scatterbomb. Attack all enemies in range, dealing 4 energy damage. Any enemies with negative fetals that you hit will also be pushed a short distance. +1 damage per effort applied, max +7. Press advantage, gain +3% critical success chance on attacks against targets with negative fetals. Yeah. I mean, this could be cool. Eats up a lot of speed, but it could be cool. I mean, we'll do this one, I think. Just press advantage. And then we select a skill, because we've gone up a tier. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and up Cypher use here. So that becomes easier there. Okay. Man. Now I'm wondering if I want to restore and change to because I can't. I couldn't go back once I saw that what Assassin does. It's on the very next screen. Just give her that ability to blind them and then use Assassin. I think it was only like a... What were the chances of that working? While hidden or attacking a blinded enemy, automatically kill the target if it's below 40% health. So, I mean, she could still hide, right? She wouldn't have to be well hidden. But, just that thing. It's just that thing that I could have chosen that confers blindness. Just thinking about it. The trick is having to do it in 2 separate actions, but it's like if there's a single enemy and you just sort of everyone's wailing on them. That could be good. We're going to continue with this as is, I think. We'll be fine. It'll be fine. Will it? No. Okay. Alright, now we'll save. We're going to try the door again. We may have to... It's a 50-50 shot, by and large, a 55% shot. We may have to try something. We may have to play the saved game in getting this door open. Either that or pop out to the corner store and grab a strength-based cipher.
Ready.
Okay, might force the door open. If I spend everything, I can get up to 55% as before. Let's see if that increase helped. Not at all. Okay. Okay, we'll give it a shot here. Ah! Success! Excellent. Some mechanism within the door seems to be stuck, but you manage to overcome its resistance. You hear something crack, and then the door slides open, grinding a bit as it does. Hey, look at that. There was something that got updated here, right? Under Familiar Skies? Captain Janner told me that the owner of the helmet was named Achille, but she wasn't particularly interested in Achille's discovery. She did agree to let me keep the helmet. If I want to know what Achille discovered, I'll have to access the navigational cortex myself. Unfortunately, it's forbidden for outsiders to access the navigational cortex. I've learned that when the cortex is being removed for maintenance, someone in the pit area of the Anchorage needs to press buttons in response to a panel lighting up. Yes, there's that. If this isn't done, the cortex can't be removed. One of the lascars, a man named Pilot Major Genjis, is working near the door to the chamber where the cortex lies. If I want to sneak inside, I'll have to distract him somehow. And that may be where that tour comes into play. Okay. What's that? This heavy door is sealed shut. It's the only thing that stands between you and the void. Don't you want to go see the void? It's delightful. Probably not. What's here? Loot! Smart Traveler's Star. We got into the luggage. We found the luggage rack. This gray metal choker. There's a small 9-pointed star in its front and fits snugly when worn. Adjusting to the size of its owner, it protects its bearer from small inconveniences encountered during travels in everyday life, including mild to moderate rain, floating road dust, and campfire smoke, allowing her to remain fresh even after days of extensive walking. The choker doesn't stop real danger, though, and the wearer shouldn't walk into a hailstorm or a house fire without more suitable protections. Our specialized machinery lore tells us, the delicate craftsmanship of the star suggests that the item was not created for simple wayfarers. More likely it was intended for high-ranking individuals wary of spoiling their expensive attire during the demands of social events. Nevertheless, its usefulness made it a nice trinket for the Ninth World's adventurers and travelers. It's not on the Ninth World, but it's about to be. Okay. Let's see. The Cure. Okay. You've got a band trapped in there. Target enemy drops some of their possessions, then wanders aimlessly, never attacking while the cure is active. Cure for violence. Active 6 rounds. Consumes action. This smooth yet multifaceted ceramic sphere retracts and reflects light brilliantly. When hurled, it releases a sparkling gaseous cloud, eliciting feelings of euphoria, empathy, and goodwill from those who are engulfed in its vapors. Wishing to atone for past misdeeds, they fling their possessions outward in acknowledgement of being cured of greed, hatred, and delusion. While in that altered state, they wander aimlessly, contemplating how they may benefit all the inhabitants of the Ninth World. That is awesome. This appears to be a conduit for a third party's contemplation, as the words come through even from creatures that do not know the human language. Oh my god. Our mystical lore tells us the cure was brought into the Ninth World when a scholar discovered a supply stored underneath an ancient ruin. Some Eon priests believe that he planned to deliver a large quantity to the Steadfast, but was murdered before he could do so. Strangely, if only he had had a chance to use it. This sphere may be the last of its kind. All right, we'll have that. Concentrated spray flesh. Hyperly traded force. Yeah, this is all stuff from the Ninth World, so we'll very dutifully take it back to them. And some shins. Shins are useless in space. Our Ninth World money is of no use to you here. Okay. So that said. My god. So I can see that, yeah, if we had asked Dracogen about it, we could be looking for an opportunity to steal it, but we don't want to steal it. We just want to use the helmet to make it so that they can get home, for goodness sake. Because it is clear that their dogma is preventing them, of these, that getting passed down from generation to generation is clouding their ability to actually do what they all want to do. There is no prime directive here. We can mess with their culture all we want. Besides, they're a superior culture. We are but barbarians strolling through their palaces. Their space palaces. We obviously don't know any better. Hey, buddy. We wanted to talk. Do you have time to give me that tour you offered yet? Yes, he says, smiling wildly. My thanks for patience and apologies for delay. Follow me. Okay. So the trick is about dealing with the button and then wouldn't it be nice if we could split the party up and have them in different places at once so they could do things? Oh well. So like, you distract him while I'm in here dealing with the cortex. You have already seen the elevator room. You will now see the observation deck where we watch for the coming ship, where we study the path of the stars. Follow, please. Crisis initiated. Keep Genjis occupied with the tour. Access the cortex room. Oh my god. First, see this, the paths between stars. The journeys that took us to this place. And please, ask questions if you have questions. Oh man. Crisis. Yes, we should do that, Tiber says quietly beneath his hand. The longer we keep on talking, the more time we have to find the cortex. I know where the cortex is, I just have to get in there. It's Tiber's turn. Here, talk to Genjis. Any questions have you before we continue? Do you have names for any of these stars? So studying this display could help your people find their way home. Do these lines look like spiders to you? I think this is what we're going to get the most mileage out of, names of the stars. Some, yes, he shrugs. Others, no, much has been lost. He gestures you along, urging you to follow him. Ah! Eratus. You talk to the pilot major. So studying this display can help your people find their way home? He blinks rapidly, surprised by your question. Some of us believe this. They come here when they have no work to stare at the changing paths, to draw their own maps and dream? Yes, dream. He pauses, gathering his thoughts. I'm just gonna sort of hang back just a little bit, just a tiny bit. Don't mind me. Use the control panel to open the door using our machinery lore. Oh good, I have a 100% chance at this. You tap the symbols at random, noticing that the light behind them goes out when you hit certain buttons in sequence. Okay. Clicks and mechanical snaps sound within the door as you work, glancing back occasionally to be sure you haven't been discovered. With no warning, the door opens. With a sizzling pop, the panel goes utterly dark and you smell burning wires. You won't be closing this door again, it seems. Oh boy. Metkina. I kind of want to send her over here to press this button. I can't remember why we need to press the button. Wait a minute. I think it's actually in the quest. When the cortex is being removed from someone in the pit area, the Anchorage needs to press buttons in response to it. If this doesn't done, the cortex can't be removed. Gotcha. I don't know if we actually need to remove the cortex, but we're gonna send Metkina over there to hang out with that panel. We need to get her there. Too far away. Okay, I see. I see how it is. Okay. So we can go until it becomes a,
You won't notice I'm gone.
Let's hope so. He stares into the changing stars. His eyes are filled with light. I believe the paths between the stars are too many, that we must wait for the ship. He sighs deeply. We must move along now. More questions! Apologies, I do not have much time. Should keep moving if you want to see everything. Why can't we talk to him? Okay. Where do you want us to move?
Of course.
Yeah, I'm not sure what we should do. I kind of want to keep them with Ganges to keep him talking. But apparently I can't do that, so I'm just going to end the turn. Yeah, we're just going to end the turn. Waves of coherent thought radiate from the orb, flooding your mind with strange abstract calculations and mathematical formulae. It shines so brightly that you can't look at it for long. Alright, well, this is for the entire ball of wax.
Of course.
The sphere turns slowly, almost thoughtfully. The glow of the control console pulses with it, warming the palms of your hands. Use the control console, okay? You touch the console and the warmth spreads up your arms and into your mind. At the moment of contact, a female voice speaks. Steeds, and with a brief stutter, it continues in the truth. Would you like to do? You glance around, seeking the source of the voice before you realize that it is speaking only in your head, and to you alone. Begin the cortex removal process. Ha ha ha. Ask the cortex. I don't really need to take it out, though, I think, for this. I just need to tell it some stuff. Request the exact location of the Anchorage. Ask how long the lascars have been waiting for the ship. Request information on the home planet of the lascars. Huh. It's really going to be about the helmet, I think. So I think we have to ask for for information about the helmet. There. Someone fell down outside somewhere, maybe, possibly. That's not good. Or slammed a door, or threw something at something, or something. Anyway, back to this. The helm belongs to Jemadar Kille. She has been missing for 15 years by the reckoning of your world. It contains a visual record she marked as being of importance. She suggested these images be analyzed. I will do so on your command. Yes. Can I ask these other questions first? Or will it move to the next? I'm so curious. I am a navigational cortex. I was manufactured 3,059 cycles ago by the Devabil Combine, with 2,153 cycles remaining. I was brought here through a built-in redundancy. Okay. I was brought here through a localized dimensional vortex, which has since collapsed. I am powered by a quantum-tunneled interstitial hoverine matrix. Hoverine matrix. The glowing orb you see before you. I interact with both users and appropriate receptacles to provide observed and recorded historical information, starfield tracking and navigation, observation, and essential starport maintenance. Hoverine. 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 An interstitial, a quantum-tunneled interstitial hoverine matrix. That's the only word. The only word that I do not know. And apparently neither does the internet. So we're going to assume they're just going to yeah, it shows up in a few places. But this is going to require more research, which I will not do at this time. But it is a thought. Okay, back to this. I maintain information regarding exactly 1,097,544 star systems, with detailed information on routes between them, including known transdimensional passages. For every world in each of these star systems, I hold detailed images of their night skies and projected daytime star fields. Additionally, I maintain detailed personnel information for this station, dating back many centuries. Okay. Let's look at the personnel history. Thousands of records, perhaps tens of thousands, scroll past your eyes, appended with arcane timekeeping, name changes, dates of birth and death. All the personnel who have ever lived, traveled, or otherwise passed through the Anchorage, no matter how brief their stay. The sheer amount of information is overwhelming. Sensing your bewilderment, the smooth voice says, certain historical trends can be deduced through analysis of this data, but this does not seem to be your focus. Popular interactions include brief historical overviews of the station, important recent events, and location searches on missing crew members. Okay. As for a historical overview of the station, my records extend over 10,000 of your years, inherited from my predecessor in this position. Your predecessor. In all this time, the people now calling themselves the lascars have crewed this station, and pre-existing records suggest they were here in a more formal military servile capacity, before the shipping lanes began to close. Interesting. The original crew of the station has repopulated the station, and their descendants have grown in number. A number of conflicts have arisen over the years. In particular, the 5-cycle mutiny, the airlock debacle, and the castaway action. Each of these helped define the current power and familial structure of the existing population. It's like 10,000 years. Good lord. It's more than 10,000 years. The current structure of the population is strongly based on and influenced by the naval hierarchy of their forebears. They await the coming of another ship to close the station properly and bring them home. Okay. Request information on recent occurrences. Approximately 15 years ago, as you measure time, a transdimensional pathway opened to the station. This was the first contact with other sentient life the inhabitants of this station have had in generations. Trade was established. That portal closed recently, but it has been replaced with the pathway through which you entered. Yep. Further information on recent occurrences? Approximately 15 years ago. No, same thing? Okay. Review the records for missing personnel. We probably just brought them back. A single lascar remains unaccounted for. Jemadar Achille passed through the transdimensional gateway approximately, the voice pauses as if calculating, 15 years of your time ago. She has not returned. Yep, we figured that out. If you have any information on additional personnel not covered by this census, please report immediately to the captain. Nope, we're good. More information about the missing Jemadar Achille? Jemadar Achille traveled through the dimensional portal that opened 15 years ago. Her mission was to explore and establish potential embassy and trade. She was also to seek other routes whereby the inhabitants of this station might find passage to their homeworld. Ah, they were going to use the bloom. Okay. Her last transmission contained a report of her investigation of a community known as the Bloom, which apparently exists. Oh, well, actually, maybe they didn't know. Maybe she was just trying to find a ship or something. Which apparently existed inside a living creature. She was 28 years of age when she departed. She left behind 2 sisters, a brother, and a father. Oh, man. Okay. Alright, review something else. I await your command. We're gonna have it analyze the helmet, but we gotta, we're gonna begin the removal process. No. Request the exact location of the Anchorage. The smooth voice says, the exact coordinates of this station are 12.93, 476.947. I need to know how to read that. 18H57Z. These numbers also helpfully appear in the pale blue light. These numbers... No, that doesn't say that, Jim. These numbers also helpfully appear in the pale blue light of the control console. These are coordinates. 12 by 93, 476 by 947, and then H and Z as like the third bit there. You suspect that if you had the proper education and context to understand these numbers, you might have a better picture of your location. As it is, they mean nothing to you. Which, makes sense. And I mean, we don't even know from if it's based on where their home planet is and all that. So, I mean, there's no need to go over it too much. However, just in case, there was something I wanted to... Well, not just in case, but... what do H and Z mean? And I mean X, Y, Z coordinates, so I assume H and Z are just the things they're using. Homogeneous coordinates... Homogeneous or projective coordinates. And they, because the z-axis, right? The z-axis, but is what's coming up here on an immediate search. I will leave that open to look at later. This is not a thing we need to worry about right now, but I was just curious. Okay. Ask how long have the lascars been waiting for the ship. Here we go. Accessing records. Calculating. The lascars have been waiting for the vessel to take them home for approximately 10,091 of your years. That's a very long time. Request information on the home planet of the lascars. A bluish globe seen from a great distance, around which many smaller orbs rotate, appears before your eyes, as if it were floating in front of you. The home of the lascars is called Ishtrinu. Oh. Cool. Anything else? No, just what it says. Okay. Let's analyze the data on the helmet, shall we? It's time.
Making a note.
Processing. 1 moment. Biological matter has entered some of the helmet's contacts. I will be unable to analyze this object unless the cortex removal process has progressed to the 3rd stage. Oh, God! Okay. This will allow me to open the cortex housing and perform a focused scan analysis of the helmet. Okay. We're gonna start the process. And we need to be on the 3rd stage. Here we go. Of course. As I note that you are a first-time user, Stage 1 requires you to assemble a pass symbol on the screen before you and pull the lever on the side of the console. A jumble of small, jagged symbols tumble across the screen as if tossed there by a careless hand. Complain that the process is too complicated. And here's where it consumes an action. Ask for more information about Stage 1. Yank the lever down without assembling the shapes. Assemble the pass symbol. I have brain abilities, so we're gonna try and do that. Oh boy. Oh, it's speed. Here we go. Success. Working swiftly, you compose the small, jagged shapes into a larger, unfamiliar symbol with a series of satisfying clicks. A clunk sounds in lever's housing, and you pull it down. An excellent solution, the voice says warmly. Well done. The hum beneath the voice changes subtly. Stage 1 of the removal process has been completed. Your actions must now be verified from the control pit. Please wait. Gotta send Makina over there to do it. Hey! Guess what we're doing now? Whatever. Oh no! The cleanest screen on the console is displaying an angular symbol composed of many tiny pieces. A button is flashing beside it. I walked over, but I can't press it. I can't do it because it requires an action, and I have to wait another round. Oh no! Okay. You get a better sense of when he's not paying attention to the controls or just quick-fingered stealth. I gotta leave it alone. Alright. The tour continues. Now see this. A map of another kind. A living painting of the Cortex's thoughts. Yes, that seems exciting. Can I touch it? I'll explain what I can if you have questions. Actually, one moment, please. I have to do something. Because I can't say anything. It requires an action. Oh. I will explain what I can if you have questions. Oh, good. Are you sure this is the Cortex mine? Are the Cortex thoughts actually blue? That sounds very much like a that sounds very much like the sort of question that Eratus would ask. He repeats your question to himself silently, as if tasting the words. No. Blue is the color of the light. Thoughts have no color. He gestures you along, urging you to follow him. Man. Can I hold my action? Dear God. Continue the cortex removal process. Once your actions in Stage 1 have been verified, we will proceed to Stage 2. Well, since I can't do it until Matkina goes again, let's request information on Stage 2. This stage requires either a high degree of visual retention or the ability to identify the smaller parts of a greater whole. Namely, you will need to identify 6 parts of the shape you assembled in Stage 1 from a number of incorrect symbols. A thread of static whips through the voice in your head. Selecting 4 incorrect symbols or allowing the given time to elapse will reset the stage. Good luck, user. Great.
Yes.
Request more information on the verification process. Each stage must be verified by a control pit operative in the observation deck. Once they signal their approval of your actions during this stage, the process can proceed. Excellent. Yes, the tides have color. But unfortunately, that's not something we can use here. Okay, here we go. I am nervous. Quick fingers, stealth. Press the Stage 1 button while the lascar is not looking. I have a 100% shot at this. You wait until the lascar is preoccupied and swiftly tap the button. The lascar looks over at the sound, at your innocent face, and then the now dark screen and button. He frowns. Nothing. Nothing to see here. It's fine. Everything is just fine. I'm going to wait here. I can't run that far! I don't have much time. Keep moving if you want to see everything. Oh no. He's down in the pit. And he's going to be down in the pit in a minute. Alright. Now we're all both down in the pit. Okay, here we go. Next phase. Keep wondering if I can save this part of the way through. I can't. Alright, here we go.
Yes.
Continue the removal process. Stage 2 initialized. Please identify the core locking components from the previous stage. Once you have done so, casing over the error unable to translate title of switch will open. Flip the switch to complete the stage. I can ask about the error. Or use machinery lore to identify the correct symbols from the previous stage. Apologies, a separate intelligence is responsible for error reporting. I am not aware of any errors at this time. Please proceed with the actions required for Stage 2. As we slide slowly toward paranoia. Okay, identify the correct symbol from the previous stage. Let's hope this uses... Yeah, excellent, good. 100% I can do this in my sleep. Success! A flood of symbols streams across the console's tiny screen. At first, none of them look in any way familiar, but as you watch, you recognize a few. They disappear beneath your tapping fingertips with sweet, piping pings. A fluttering sound, something like an insect's wings, rises from the console, and the casing pops open. You flick the switch. Stage 2 complete, the voice says with real pleasure. Well done. Your actions in Stage 2 have been sent to the observation deck to be verified. Please wait. Oh, God. I guess we're gonna wait. Hey. On the monitor, 6 sigils whirl about each other in a dizzying spiral. A button blinks urgently beside it. I'm gonna press the Stage 2 button while the lascar is not looking. Yay! Oh my god. I'm so stressed. The lascar glances up, eyes leaving the monitor. Swift and silent as air, you lean over and press the button. The lascar looks back down at the click, frowning again. Touch, he says sternly. You do not respond, and after a moment he returns to his work, eyeing you more often now. No. I didn't do anything. Glad Makina stayed there. Now see, he trails off and chuckles. You know this door, of course. You came to us from it. Yes, but I'd like to know more about the door. Man. I'm gonna be behind him. This is gonna... It's gonna be such an issue.
Coming.
Need to run further. Eratus can get a little closer.
Action! Here I come!
I can't talk to him right now. That's the problem. Okay. If we're in Stage 3, maybe we can interface with the helmet now. Alright, we're going to continue the process. Stage 3 initialized. Simply arrange the previously selected symbols into a critical error. Existing syntax is inadequate, the voice says in high, pleading tones. Instructions are flawed. User may be unable to complete cortex removal procedure. Maintenance is requested. Repeat. Maintenance is requested. After a long pause, the voice resumes utterly calm. Once this is complete, manually pull the locking cylinder from its housing, rotate it, and insert it back into the console. Try to figure out what you're supposed to do. Warn the cortex its instructions were full of errors and missing information. You think you smell burning plastic, molten metal. Then the voice speaks. I am not aware of any errors. It whispers hoarsely. Complete the stage to the best of your ability. If you're unable to do so, I will not be able to release the cortex as requested. My apologies. My apologies. The whispers fall silent. Oh boy. Try to figure it out, because this is all we can do. Luckily, I'm clever. Because we chose the right person to come in here. Bereft of any useful instructions, you study the sigils rotating on the screen. All of them are moving, except the one in the upper left corner. The original shape assembled in Stage 1. On a whim, you arrange the remaining sigils into a frame surrounding that shape. Excellent work, the voice says. I've never seen it done faster. Great. Please wait. Your actions in Stage 3 must be verified. Okay. Oh. That's a new sound. Sounds like there may be an issue with its carburetor. I'm not sure. All right. Come on, Makina, you can do this. All right. Press the Stage 3 button while the lascar is not looking. 95% is a lot. Okay. The lascar sighs, rubbing his eyes. In that second, you dart over and press the glowing button. Ah! Oh boy. Yeah. Okay, let's talk to him. If I can get up to him. I can't. I can't.
All right.
Can Eratus get up to him? Not quite. Damn it.
Happy to help.
Oof. Alright, here we go.
Yes.
Command the Cortex to process the data on the helmet. Certainly, please wait. Dark masses within the giant orb shift, and a pinpoint of light streaks from within, dancing over the helmet in your hands. Processing complete. Report. Jemadar Achille was struck and killed at the date of her last record. Her file has been updated to reflect this information. Analysis continues. All the images contained inside the helmet strobe rapidly through your vision. The images of the night sky that were so prevalent in the helm appear now, and the Cortex begins to layer star charts over the top of those pictures. The information about the location of this world has now been added to my memory. Okay. Ask if the images in the broken helmet match any in the Cortex's records. Based on time regression analysis of star field and relative planetary position, only one possible world matches. Ishtrinu, the world the Lascar people call home. Ah. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Only one possible... Are they saying the ninth world is Ishtrinu, or are they saying that they figured out where Ishtrinu is based on the star positioning? Eh? Do we have to remove the Cortex? What are we doing? The Cortex revealed Achilles' discovery. The ninth world is actually the Lascar's home. I should report this to Captain Janer right away. Okay. So, yeah, that's that. I'm not going to remove the Cortex, as that was all we needed to do. Unfortunately, I cannot save at this point, so hopefully I won't have to remove the Cortex. But we'll see how this goes. I can only move out here while stealing the Cortex. I'm not trying to steal the Cortex! I'm wondering, though, if I can quantum step my way. No, that's probably not going to be going far enough. Alright.
Yes. Now.
Okay. Can I have Makina do it? No, but I can have her distract dude. See this now, a door once used by the most exalted travelers. He shakes his head, smiling. Now often broken, and room beyond is for storage. He pats the door as if apologizing to it. Yes, door. Fascinating. Actually, one moment I have to do something. Dang it! You can't go anywhere and talk at the same time. Useless! What type of important visitors come through this door? What if your ship comes? Would they come through this door? What do you store back there? Why does the door break so often? What do you store back there? Components, he says, shrugging. Heirlooms of lost family lines. He waves his hand aimlessly, trying to capture the word he's looking for. Things and other things. He gestures you along, urging you to follow him. Alright, we gotta get down there. Unfortunately, that's a long way. But I have quite a bit of a reach, it seems. Yeah, this is actually much farther than the teleportation range. Here, you talk to him. Ah! I don't have much time. Should keep moving if you want to see everything. Oh, I know. I know. Things and other things is a great descriptor for the contents of storage. I mean, yes. Alright, please be close enough. I greet you. What do you need? I have uncovered the location of Ishtrino, your homeworld. The bloom lives in that world. You just need to go through the portal and you'll be home. Let's see if, in fact, she will listen. Blue and gold. Okay. What evidence have you... What evidence have you of this? How do you know? The Cortex... The Cortex must verify the truth. We'll return. She hurries from the room. Why did the Cortex not know this? Okay. Her face is pale and her hand trembles as she returns. A tear rolls down her cheek. You have done us a great service, Outworlder. Your wisdom, your knowledge, they bring us home. Weird. It just happened to be the Ninth World. It's kind of a bit of a coincidence that the portal just only opened there like 15 years ago. Might have been something going on. Odd, though. Because they've been gone 10,000 years. I mean, you know, that means probably no ship coming, but still. But still. I don't know. What happened? What indeed happened? XP! She summons the crew, and when they have assembled, she speaks to them for long moments in their own tongue. Her face shines. You hear gasps and cries of muted praise. Some weep openly. When she finishes her speech, the lascars line up outside the portal to the bloom. Outworlder, whatever lies beyond the bloom is the place we call home. Our service is done. Our thanks. She presses the navigational cortex into your hand and follows her crew out of the anchorage. Oh my god. We got hold of it anyway. You retrieved this tiny metal and synth sphere, so it was just a tiny sphere inside the big sphere. From inside a larger device, it is the navigational cortex of the Lascar's Anchorage, containing records of innumerable worlds and maps of the travel routes between them. You can see infinitesimally small patterns traced along its surface with minuscule lights racing along and through those patterns. Huh. I could still maybe trade it in. So home is better than here? The bloom isn't a very nice place. You're right. So, On a quick trip outside, just to see, look into the void. They packed up and left. Well, that's gone. The sphere sits dark and forlorn, displaying none of its former radiance. You can't read the text on this display, but the graphics seem to depict atmospheric conditions and power levels in the room. It's just a monitoring station. Nothing can be controlled from here. Okay, well, that's that, I guess. We have successfully returned them home, heavens help them. All that would be left would be to depart. I don't think there's anything else I'll need here. I don't think there's anything else I can possibly get here. But just in case, of course, I'm going to save the game, because of course I'm going to. Of course I'm going to. There is no way to prevent myself from doing that. It is not possible. I must create a new save file so that everything will be alright. Now leaving. Covetous Hearts. Return to Dracugen with the... Now that I have the navigational cortex, I should renew the Oliver's Courtyard and give it to Dracugen. Maybe. Well, we'll see how this goes. Leaving? Where are we going? Yeah.
I'm ready.
We're going here. Hey, and you know, we're actually very close to, I'm very close to a stopping point here, but I just wanted to get over here. Fetals are status effects or conditions. They may be positive, negative, or status changes, and are indicated by small... Okay. And there we have it. We are back in the bloom. And I'm actually going to go ahead and save it here once more, because I didn't know if that portal would still be open. It's hard to know when they're going to close doors behind you. Sometimes they don't tell you. Sometimes they don't tell you. And see, if I hadn't restored before, we would have missed all of that. All of that! So I'm glad we went back and took care of it. So, Little Neleash. Cortex, because I have it now. Okay. That is that. So that is all the time I'm going to have for today, so I'm going to return back to the main menu. I must now do other things shortly. Probably dinner-like things. That's probably what's going to happen. Okay. Let me go over here and do that and that. Alright, folks. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. That was fun, actually, getting through that and figuring it out. And as it turns out, those lascars that showed up were in the bloom were already home, apparently. It's going to be rough on the Ninth World. They're going to have to deal with all that. I hope they brought enough equipment to set up whatever settlement they want to set up. But we shall see. We shall see. And it would have been nice had there been a ship, but sadly there was not. So, what else do we have happening? So, let's see. The next time I think I've got anything happening on this channel shall be Wednesday, technically. I mean, I'm probably, between now and Wednesday, I'm probably gonna play City Skylines sometime this weekend, I'm guessing. I won't be able to stop myself. Wednesday is the day I normally play City Skylines, so I'll be playing on Wednesday at the very least, but probably at least one time between now and then. I'm also randomly playing Planet Coaster at various points. I haven't I haven't gone back yet, but I'm probably going to sometime soon. And of course, Wednesday nights is when we have our regular campaign. We haven't had the last couple weeks for various real life reasons, but we have our regular campaign of called Untitled Space Game, which is the Scum and Villainy system, and so we're going to get back to that with any luck and keep that going, and then. Let's see, Friday, it's back around to Friday, and more of this. That's basically what I have going right now. There is more about to happen. Is now the time to announce. Is now the time to make the announcement. Almost. We're going to have something reappear very soon, in a little over a week's time. I shall be talking about it on the Twitters a little bit, just sort of making announcements, and also I will probably have announcements for sign-ups for a thing soon. I'm going to start up the one-shots again. I want to start up the one-shots again in July. I think I figured out the schedule I want to do for them, so look for that soon as well. So that will be coming, but that is all that I really think I can do here and now. More stuff happening very soon. Imminently, one might say. In the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and I will see you all of a sudden.